My vote for a new Netflix documentary is the story of Helga and Clara Estby, the women who in 1896 walked across America. Now, Helga was a Norwegian-born woman who had a farm in Mica Creek, which is just a little bit south of the Spokane area, and in 1893, during the financial collapse, lost everything. Her husband, Ole, was injured, ends up borrowing against the farm, and they're going to lose the whole thing. But she, as suffragette, arranges a contract with a New York sponsor that if she and her daughter, Clara, walk across the whole of the United States in 7 months, they'll get $10,000. And she agrees to it. And the contract had some stipulations. They had to wear essentially a uniform of this brand new type of bicycle skirt. They had to complete the walk within 7 months. They had to leave home with only $5. They had to support themselves along the journey by doing work, never begging. They were required to visit political leaders in each state that they crossed through and walk on foot. They couldn't use trains, but they could take different transportation if they were ever given or offered a ride. They left the Spokane area in May of 1896 and walked across the whole of the country, eventually arriving in New York. It took them 7 months and 18 days. And along the way, they faced every challenge you could imagine. They were stalked by a tramp, where Helga eventually shot him in the leg with a little pepperbox revolver. They go over mountains, through snow, flash floods, extreme heat, harassment the entire journey. But after 7 months and 18 days, they went just over 3,500 miles and arrived in New York, having worn out 32 pairs of shoes. But they did it. And when they got there, the anonymous New York sponsor said, well, you're 18 days late, no deal, and never gave them a single dime. And people don't even know if they had the money or if they just made the claim thinking that women could never do it. But Clara and Helga never made any money, and then had to work their way back across the country. And when they arrived back in Mica Creek, they were shunned by their family. In fact, Clara left home and didn't return for another 20 years. And when her mother died, one of the disenchanted children that got left behind burned all the journals and documents. The first pair had actually been lost, and then Helga had to write them all from memory again, and then her kids burned them at her death. At the time, their heroic effort to walk across the country to save the family farm seemed scandalous, and most of the people in their community disapproved of it. For me, though, it's one of the greatest adventure stories of Washington, and really should be told more. So now you know.